the vow she never broke. A story of romance, betrayal, and ultimate revenge. Part 1, The Shocking Betrayal. The message that shattered everything. Welcome to Crownfire Tales. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. The text message arrived at 11:47 p.m. on Maya Chen's wedding anniversary. She was standing in the kitchen of her Boston penthouse, preparing champagne and strawberries for when her husband Marcus returned from his emergency business meeting. 5 years of marriage. 5 years of being the perfect wife to the perfect man. Or so she thought. The phone buzzed on the marble counter. Maya smiled, expecting Marcus to say he was on his way home. Instead, the message was from an unknown number, and it contained a single video file. Maya's finger hovered over the screen. Something in her gut twisted, a primal warning that once she pressed play, her life would never be the same. She pressed it anyway. The video was dark, shot from a hidden angle in what looked like a hotel room. But the faces were clear enough. Crystal clear. Marcus, her Marcus, with his hands tangled in another woman's hair, his mouth claiming hers with a hunger Maya hadn't seen in years. But it wasn't just any woman. It was Sophia. Her sister. The champagne glass slipped from Maya's hand, exploding against the floor like her heart. The video kept playing, a nightmare she couldn't stop watching. Their laughter. The way Marcus whispered something that made Sophia throw her head back. The casual intimacy that spoke of countless encounters, not a single mistake. Then came the audio, and it was worse than anything Maya could have imagined. When are you going to tell her? Sophia's voice, breathless and needy. Tell her what? That I never loved her? Marcus laughed, that warm laugh Maya had fallen in love with 7 years ago. Maya was convenient. Her father's company merger made me a billionaire. But you, Soph, you're the one I've always wanted. 5 years, Marcus. I've waited 5 years, watching you play house with my boring, pathetic sister. She is pathetic, isn't she? Always so grateful, so eager to please. Like a puppy. More laughter. But her trust fund runs out next month. Once I secure the Henderson deal with her signature, we're done. I'll file for divorce, claim irreconcilable differences, and you and I can finally be together. The video ended. Maya stood in the wreckage of her kitchen, champagne soaking into her designer dress, glass fragments glittering around her feet like fallen stars. Her mind was racing, but her body was frozen. The two people she loved most in the world had been lying to her face for 5 years. Every kiss, every I love you, every family dinner where Sophia smiled at her across the table, all of it had been a performance. The woman who refused to break. Maya didn't cry. She wanted to, felt the tears burning behind her eyes, but something else was rising in her chest. Something cold and sharp and absolutely merciless. She walked to her home office, careful to avoid the glass, and opened her laptop with steady hands. Marcus thought she was convenient. Boring. Pathetic. He thought she was a puppy who would roll over and accept her fate. He had no idea who he'd actually married. Before Marcus, before the fairy tale romance he'd sold her, Maya Chen had been someone else entirely. She'd been the youngest CFO in her father's empire, a woman who could read a balance sheet like poetry and spot a con artist from a mile away. But when she fell in love, she'd become softer, gentler. She'd let Marcus handle the finances. She'd played the role of devoted wife because she thought that's what love looked like. What a fool she'd been. Maya opened her hidden folders, the ones Marcus didn't know existed. Every financial document. Every contract. Every piece of evidence she'd meticulously kept just in case, a habit from her corporate days she'd never quite shaken. The Henderson deal. Marcus had been working on it for months, a $50 million acquisition that required both their signatures because of the prenuptial agreement her father had insisted on. Marcus needed her to sign tomorrow. He'd been so sweet about it, bringing her flowers, telling her how much he appreciated her support. Maya's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. She began to type, her fingers flying across the keyboard. First, she changed every password to every account. Then she made a series of phone calls to people Marcus had no idea she knew, old colleagues from her CFO days, lawyers who owed her favors, investigators who specialized in finding dirt. By 3 a.m., Maya had a plan. It wasn't just about divorce. It wasn't even about taking Marcus's money. This was about destroying him so completely that he'd wish he'd never heard her name. The performance begins. Marcus came home at 4:15 a.m., smelling of expensive hotels and Sophia's perfume. How had Maya never noticed before? He found her in bed, apparently asleep, the perfect picture of a trusting wife. "Hey, babe," he whispered, sliding in beside her. "Sorry I'm so late." The meeting ran long. Maya stirred, turning to face him with sleepy eyes. Inside, she was made of ice. Outside, she was warm honey. "It's okay." "Did it go well?" "Really well. Actually, I need you to do me a huge favor tomorrow." He kissed her forehead, and Maya fought the urge to recoil. "The Henderson contracts are ready. Can you come to the office around noon to sign? It would mean everything to me." "Of course," Maya murmured, snuggling closer to him like she always did. "Anything for you." She felt him relax, felt his triumph. He thought he'd won. He thought she was still the puppy, eager to please, blind to everything. "I love you," he said, the lie smooth as silk. "I love you too," Maya replied, and for the first time in their marriage, she was the one lying. The sisters' visit. Sophia arrived the next morning with pastries and coffee, the way she did every Thursday. They had a standing date, a tradition that made Maya feel close to her only sibling. Now, watching Sophia walk into her kitchen wearing a dress Marcus had probably bought her, Maya saw everything differently. "You look tired," Sophia said, concern dripping from her voice. "Is everything okay?" "Just couldn't sleep," Maya said, accepting the coffee. "Marcus came home so late. Work has been crazy for him." "Men and their careers," Sophia sighed, sitting at the counter. "You're so patient with him, Maya." "I don't know how you do it." "Love makes you patient," Maya said, watching her sister's face carefully. "You'd do anything for the person you love, right?" Something flickered in Sophia's eyes, guilt, or maybe excitement. "Of course. Anything." They talked about meaningless things. Sophia's new apartment, paid for by Marcus, Maya now realized. Their mother's upcoming birthday. The weather. And all the while, Maya studied the woman across from her, this stranger wearing her sister's face. "I have to go," Maya said finally, glancing at her watch. "Marcus needs me to sign some papers at his office." "The Henderson deal?" Sophia asked, too quickly. "He mentioned that to me. I think Mom mentioned it. Such a big opportunity for him." "Yes," Maya smiled. "Such a big opportunity. The signature that changed everything." Marcus's office was a temple to his ego, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Boston Harbor, modern art worth more than most people's homes, a desk the size of a small car. He stood when Maya entered, his smile bright and false. "There's my beautiful wife." He kissed her cheek, and Maya let him, though her skin crawled. "Thank you for coming. This will only take a minute." His lawyers were there, 3 men in expensive suits who barely looked at her. They saw what Marcus saw, a convenient wife, a signature, a means to an end. "Just sign here, here, and here," Marcus said, sliding the papers across his desk. Maya picked up the pen. She looked at the documents, 20 pages of legal jargon that most people wouldn't understand. But Maya understood every word. She'd spent the night memorizing them, finding the loopholes, the clauses that Marcus thought she'd never notice. "Before I sign," she said softly, "can I ask you something?" Marcus's smile tightened. "Of course, babe. Anything." "Do you love me?" The question hung in the air. The lawyers shifted uncomfortably. Marcus laughed, that same warm laugh from the video. What kind of question is that? Of course I love you. You're my wife. Right, Maya nodded. Your wife. She signed the papers. Every single one. Marcus's relief was visible, his shoulders dropping as he exhaled. Thank you, baby. You have no idea what this means to me. Oh, I think I do, Maya said. She gathered her purse, ready to leave. Then she paused at the door, turning back. Marcus? Yes? You should check your accounts. I think there might be an issue with one of the transfers. She left before he could respond, before she could see his face when he realized what she'd done. The truth revealed. It took Marcus less than an hour to call her, his voice shaking with rage. What did you do? I signed the papers, Maya said calmly. She was in her car, driving to an undisclosed location. Just like you asked. The money, all of it, it's gone. The accounts are empty. What did you do? I protected my assets, Maya said. You see, Marcus, I hired a forensic accountant 6 months ago. Just a routine check, I told myself. Imagine my surprise when I found out you'd been embezzling from our joint accounts for years, funneling money to offshore accounts. In Sophia's name, no less. Creative, but sloppy. Silence. Then, you can't prove that. Actually, I can. I have 5 years of documentation. Every transfer, every fake invoice, every fraudulent expense report. And when you sign the Henderson papers, which you'll have to do now to close the deal, you'll be admitting to fraud. I added a little clause on page 17. My lawyers assure me it's airtight. You bitch. I prefer chess master, Maya interrupted. Also, I should mention that I've sent a package to the IRS, the SEC, and several business journalists who would love to write about a billionaire's fall from grace. But don't worry, Marcus. I'm not heartless. I left you enough money for a good lawyer. You'll need one. She hung up before he could scream again. The sisters' reckoning. Sophia was waiting at Maya's penthouse when she returned. She must have used her key, the one Maya had given her years ago when they were still sisters. You need to fix this, Sophia said, her face red with anger. Marcus is destroyed. You're ruining everything. I'm ruining everything? Maya laughed, a sound that held no humor. That's fascinating, Sophia. Tell me, how long have you been sleeping with my husband? The color drained from Sophia's face. I'm not. Please don't insult me by lying now, Maya said. She pulled out her phone, queuing up the video. I have proof. I have recordings. I have hotel receipts in your name. I have everything. Sophia's mask cracked. You don't understand. Marcus and we're in love. We've always been in love. You stole him from me. I stole him? Maya's voice was dangerously soft. He pursued me, Sophia. He asked me out. He proposed to me. When exactly was I supposed to know that my own sister was sleeping with him behind my back? You were always Dad's favorite, Sophia spat. Perfect Maya, with her perfect job and her perfect life. I was invisible. But Marcus saw me. He wanted me. He used you, Maya said, each word precise. Just like he used me. The difference is, I woke up. What are you going to do? Sophia whispered. Maya walked to the door, opening it. I'm going to rebuild my life. One without you in it. Get out of my house, Sophia. And lose my number. Maya, please. Get out. Sophia fled, tears streaming down her face. Maya closed the door, locked it, and finally, she let herself feel it. The betrayal. The rage. The devastating hurt of losing a husband and a sister in the same moment. But underneath the pain, something else was growing. A determination, cold and absolute. this wasn't over. This was just the beginning. Marcus had called her pathetic. Boring. A puppy. He thought destroying him financially would be enough. But Maya Chen had spent 5 years being underestimated. She'd learned patience, strategy, and most importantly, she'd learned that the best revenge isn't hot, it's ice cold. End of part 1. What will Maya do next? Marcus has lost his money, but will that be enough to satisfy her need for justice? And what about Sophia, will she face consequences for her betrayal? The game has only just begun, and Maya is playing to win. Part 2, Heartbreak and Revenge. The Empire Strikes Back. 3 weeks after Maya signed the papers that destroyed Marcus's financial empire, she sat in the boardroom of Chen Enterprises, the company her father had built from nothing. She'd avoided this place for 5 years, letting Marcus convince her that corporate life was beneath her, that being his wife was enough. What a lie that had been. Ms. Chen, the interim CEO, James Sullivan, stood when she entered. "We weren't expecting you." "I know," Maya said, settling into the chair at the head of the table, her father's chair. "But I'm invoking Clause 7 of my father's will. As the primary heir, I'm assuming control of Chen Enterprises, effective immediately." The room erupted in protest. 5 board members, all men Marcus had helped install, all loyal to him rather than her father's legacy. "You can't just." "I can," Maya interrupted, sliding a folder across the table. "My lawyers have reviewed everything. The company has been mismanaged for years. Profits are down 40%. And according to these documents," she tapped the folder, "someone has been using company funds for personal expenses. Expensive hotels. Jewelry. Payments to a woman named Sophia Chen." The silence was absolute. "Marcus embezzled from Chen Enterprises?" James looked genuinely shocked. "We had no idea." "That's the problem," Maya said softly. "You should have had an idea. You should have been watching. But you were too busy enjoying the country club memberships and the executive bonuses while the company my father died building was being gutted from the inside." She stood, commanding the room with a presence she'd forgotten she possessed. "Here's what's going to happen. Each of you will submit your resignation by end of business today. I'll provide generous severance packages, I'm not cruel. But this company is going back to what it was, a family business, run with integrity." "You've been out of the corporate world for 5 years, one board member protested. "You can't just." "Watch me," Maya said. The investigation deepens. Maya's private investigator, Derek Chen, no relation, though they joked about it, had been working around the clock. His report, delivered to Maya's new temporary office, was 300 pages of damning evidence. "You're not going to like this," Derek said, his expression grim. "I haven't liked anything in 3 weeks. Tell me. Marcus's affair with your sister goes back 7 years. It started before he even met you." Maya's stomach dropped. "What?" "They met at a charity gala. Your father introduced them. According to my sources, they had a brief relationship, but your father disapproved. Sophia was too young, too wild. Marcus needed respectability for his business ambitions. So he targeted me instead," Maya finished, her voice hollow. "I wasn't the love of his life. I was the acceptable alternative." Derek nodded. "It gets worse. The pregnancy." "What pregnancy?" "Sophia was pregnant 3 years ago. She had a miscarriage, but Marcus paid for everything. There are medical records, payments to a private clinic. He was planning to leave you then, but the Henderson deal came up and he needed you to stay." Maya closed her eyes. 3 years ago, she'd been planning their future, talking about starting a family. Meanwhile, Marcus had been consoling Sophia over a lost child. Their child. "There's more," Derek continued. "Marcus has been running a secondary scheme. He's been shorting stocks in companies that compete with Chen Enterprises, using insider information he got from your father's files. If the SEC finds out, and they will, he's looking at serious prison time. How serious? 10 to 15 years. Maya opened her eyes. Good. The unexpected ally. The knock on her office door came at midnight. Maya had been working for 16 hours straight, rebuilding what Marcus had destroyed. She was exhausted, running on coffee and pure spite. Come in, she called, expecting Derek or one of her new assistants. Instead, a woman walked in. She was tall, elegant, with silver-streaked black hair and eyes that reminded Maya of her father's. It took her a moment to place the face. Aunt Linda? Linda Chen, her father's younger sister, hadn't spoken to the family in over a decade. She'd left after a fight with Maya's father about the business, disappearing to Europe to run her own investment firm. Hello, Maya, Linda said, sitting without invitation. I heard you were taking over the company. Thought I'd see if you'd make the same mistakes your father did. Which mistakes would those be? Maya asked, defensive despite herself. Trusting the wrong people. Your father always saw the best in everyone. It's why Marcus was able to fool him so completely. You knew? Maya's voice was sharp. You knew what Marcus was doing? I suspected, Linda corrected. I tried to warn your father, but he thought I was being paranoid. When you married Marcus, She sighed. I should have tried harder. I'm sorry. Why are you here now? Linda pulled out a tablet, sliding it across the desk. Because Marcus isn't working alone. He has a partner, someone who's been helping him cover his tracks. Someone inside Chen Enterprises. Maya looked at the screen. Financial records, emails, coded conversations. Her blood ran cold when she saw the name. James Sullivan. The interim CEO she'd just fired. He's been working with Marcus for 3 years, Linda explained. They plan to drive Chen Enterprises into bankruptcy, buy it for pennies, and rebuild it under a new name. With you conveniently divorced and discredited. Why tell me this? Maya asked. You left the family. Because family is still family, Linda said. And because I liked your father, even when we disagreed. He wouldn't want his legacy destroyed by parasites. Maya studied her aunt, this woman she barely knew. What do you want in return? A seat on your board, Linda said bluntly. 20% equity stake. And full operational control of the European division. That's a lot. I'm worth it. And you need allies who know how to fight dirty. Linda stood, extending her hand. So, do we have a deal? Maya hesitated for only a moment before shaking. We have a deal. The public fall. Marcus's arrest made national news. The SEC agents showed up at his office at 8 a.m. on a Tuesday, cameras rolling, journalists swarming. Maya watched the live feed from her office, her face impassive as Marcus was led out in handcuffs. Fraud, embezzlement, insider trading, the reporter narrated. Marcus Hayes, once celebrated as one of Boston's most successful young businessmen, faces up to 20 years in federal prison. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number, you did this. I hope you're happy. Sophia. Still playing the victim. Maya deleted the message without responding. She had bigger problems. James Sullivan had disappeared. The moment he heard about Marcus's arrest, he'd fled, taking several $1 million in liquid assets with him. Maya's team was tracking him, but he'd gone to ground somewhere in South America. Let him run, Linda advised during their evening strategy session. Men like Sullivan always make mistakes. We'll find him. It's not enough, Maya said, staring at the Boston skyline. Marcus will probably make a deal, turn on his associates. He'll serve 5 years, maybe less. Then he'll be out, ready to start over. So what do you want? Linda asked. Maya turned to face her aunt. I want him to lose everything. Not just money or freedom. I want him to lose his reputation, his future, his hope. I want him to feel exactly what he made me feel." Linda smiled. It was a sharp, dangerous smile that reminded Maya they shared blood. "Then we need to play a longer game. And I have an idea." The sisters' desperation. Sophia showed up at Chin Enterprises at 2 a.m., somehow bypassing security. She was drunk, mascara running, desperation radiating from every pore. "Maya," she screamed in the empty lobby. "Maya, I know you're here. Come down and face me." Maya, who had been reviewing contracts in her office, watched through the security cameras. Part of her wanted to ignore it, to let security remove her. But another part, the part that still remembered teaching Sophia to ride a bike, helping her through breakups, believing they would be sisters forever, that part needed closure. She took the elevator down. "You destroyed him," Sophia slurred when Maya appeared. "You destroyed the man I love." "He destroyed himself," Maya said calmly. "I just documented it." "You're jealous. You've always been jealous of me." "Jealous?" Maya laughed, the sound echoing in the marble lobby. "Of what, Sophia? Your affair with a married man? Your willingness to betray your own sister? Please, tell me what I should be jealous of." "He loved me," Sophia screamed. "Not you, me. And you couldn't stand it, so you had to ruin everything." "He used you," Maya said, her voice cutting. "Just like he used me. The only difference is, you were willing to destroy your family for scraps of his attention. Tell me, was it worth it? Was he worth losing your sister?" Sophia's face crumpled. "I have nothing now. No money, no Marcus, no family. Mom won't speak to me. I lost my apartment. I'm living in a motel, Maya." A motel. For a moment, just a moment, Maya felt a flicker of something. Not forgiveness, but perhaps pity. Then she remembered the video, the laughter, the boring, pathetic sister comments, and the moment passed. "You made your choices," Maya said. "Now live with them." "Please," Sophia whispered, dropping to her knees. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Help me." "You're my sister." "I was your sister," Maya corrected. "Now you're just a stranger who looks like someone I used to love." She turned to security. "Escort her out. If she comes back, call the police." As they pulled Sophia away, still crying, still begging, Maya felt nothing. The sister she'd known was already gone, had been gone for 7 years. This was just the ghost. The breakthrough. Derek called at 3 a.m. with news. "We found something. Marcus's lawyer made a mistake, sent an email to the wrong address." "It's a list, Maya. Names, dates, amounts." "What kind of list?" "Everyone Marcus paid off over the years. City officials, business partners, journalists. He's been building his empire on bribery and blackmail." "And your sister?" "She wasn't just his mistress. She was his accomplice." Maya sat up in bed, suddenly alert. "What do you mean?" "Sophia helped him target you. She gave him information about your schedule, your passwords, your weaknesses. The whole relationship, Marcus pursuing you, the fairy tale romance, it was her idea. She thought if he married you and then divorced you, they could split the money and run away together." The betrayal cut deeper than Maya thought possible. It was one thing to lose a husband to an affair. It was another to realize her own sister had engineered her destruction from the beginning. "Send me everything," Maya said. "Every file, every email, every shred of evidence." "Maya, what are you going to do?" "What I should have done from the start," she said. "I'm going to burn their world to the ground." The final revelation. But before Maya could execute her revenge, one more truth emerged. It came from an unexpected source, Marcus himself. He called her from jail, his voice small and broken. "Maya, please. I need to talk to you." She almost hung up. But curiosity, that dangerous thing, made her listen. "I'm sorry," he said. "I know that's not enough, but I'm sorry. You deserved better." "Yes," Maya agreed. "I did. There's something you need to know. About Sophia. About what really happened." "I know enough," Maya said. "I know she helped you target me. I know the whole thing was a setup." "It was," Marcus admitted. "But not the way you think. Sophia didn't just suggest you as a target, Maya. She..." He took a shaky breath. "She's the one who approached me. She's the one who planned everything. I thought I was using her, but she was using me. To get to you." "Why?" Maya's voice was barely a whisper. "Because she hates you. She's always hated you. Your father's will, when he died, he left everything to you. Sophia got nothing. She blamed you for that, said you manipulated him. This was her revenge. She wanted to take everything from you the way she felt you took everything from her." The phone slipped from Maya's hand. She stared at nothing, her mind racing. It had never been about Marcus. It had been about her. Sophia had orchestrated 7 years of torture, not for love, but for pure, calculated revenge. And Maya had spent 3 weeks focused on the wrong target. End of part 2. Maya now knows the full truth. Her sister was the mastermind behind her destruction. But what will she do with this knowledge? And how far is she willing to go to make Sophia pay for 7 years of calculated betrayal? The final confrontation approaches, and only one sister will walk away whole. Part 3, The Ultimate Payback. The architect revealed. Maya stood in her father's study, a room she'd avoided since his death 5 years ago. The scent of old books and whiskey still lingered, mixed with dust and memory. On the wall hung his portrait, stern and proud, the man who'd built an empire and never seen the viper in his own family. "I'm sorry, Dad," Maya whispered. "I didn't see it either." But now she did. With Marcus's revelation, everything clicked into place. Every strange comment Sophia had made over the years. Every convenient coincidence that had put Marcus in Maya's path. Every poisonous seed planted so carefully that Maya had never noticed the garden of betrayal growing around her. Her phone buzzed. Derek's text was simple, "Found her. Sending address." Sophia was hiding in a rundown motel in New Hampshire, using cash and a fake name. She thought she was invisible. She had no idea that Maya had spent the last 48 hours hunting her with the same methodical precision her sister had once used against her. "Aunt Linda," Maya said into her phone, "I need the jet ready in an hour. And I need you to arrange a meeting." "With who?" "Everyone Sophia has ever wronged." The gathering storm. The conference room of Chin Enterprises filled slowly over the next 3 days. Maya had sent invitations to very specific people, all of whom had one thing in common: they'd been casualties of Sophia's schemes. There was Jennifer Martinez, a former college roommate whose boyfriend Sophia had stolen senior year. The relationship ended in disaster, but only after Jennifer had been publicly humiliated. David Wong, a business partner of their father's who'd lost a major deal after Sophia leaked confidential information, destroying his company. Rachel Kim, Sophia's former best friend, who'd been betrayed in high school when Sophia spread vicious rumors that left Rachel ostracized and nearly suicidal. And more. So many more. Maya had no idea how deep her sister's cruelty ran until Derek started digging. Sophia Chen had left a trail of destruction wherever she went, always playing the victim, always escaping consequences. "Why are we here?" Jennifer asked, her eyes suspicious. "Because," Maya said, standing at the head of the table, "my sister has been getting away with destroying lives for over a decade. And I think it's time we changed that." She projected Sophia's file onto the screen. Every scheme, every betrayal, every calculated act of malice, documented and time-stamped. "She ruined me just because she could," Rachel whispered, staring at the evidence. "I was 16. I thought about ending my life because of what she did. She cost me my company, David added, his voice hard. 20 years of work, gone because she wanted to hurt your father and I was collateral damage. So what do we do? Jennifer demanded. Call her out? Expose her? She'll just deny it, play victim like she always does. No, Maya said. We're going to do something better. We're going to give her exactly what she gave us, a perfectly orchestrated destruction that she never sees coming. The trap is set. Maya's plan was elegant in its simplicity. She created a fake identity, Victoria Sterling, a wealthy investor from California looking to fund a documentary series about women who'd been wronged by powerful men. She reached out to Sophia through a mutual contact, someone paid handsomely to play the role. Sophia, desperate and broke, jumped at the opportunity. Ms. Chen, the contact said during their casual coffee meeting, Victoria is looking for a compelling story. Someone who's been through betrayal, who can speak authentically about being cast aside by society. That's me, Sophia said eagerly. My own sister destroyed my life because she was jealous of my relationship with her husband. She had him arrested on false charges, bankrupted me, turned my whole family against me. I'm the perfect subject. Victoria would love to hear your story, the contact said. She's offering $50,000 for an exclusive interview. And if the documentary gets picked up, there could be more. Sophia's eyes gleamed. When? This weekend. Private location, just you and Victoria. Very intimate, very raw. I'll be there, Sophia said. The interview. The documentary location was a luxury estate in the Berkshires, all carefully arranged by Maya's team. Hidden cameras covered every angle. Microphones caught every whisper. And in a separate room, Maya watched through monitors, surrounded by everyone Sophia had wronged. Sophia arrived looking nervous but excited. The makeup artist, the lighting crew, the professional camera operators, all of it was real enough to sell the illusion. Ms. Chen, the interviewer began, actually an actress Maya had hired, tell us your story. From the beginning. And Sophia did. She spun a tale of victimhood so convincing that if Maya hadn't known the truth, she might have believed it. Sophia painted herself as a woman wronged at every turn, destroyed by a jealous sister, betrayed by a weak man who couldn't stand up to his wife. Maya always had to be the best, Sophia said, tears in her eyes. If I had something, she took it. If I loved someone, she stole them. She couldn't stand to see me happy. Tell us about Marcus, the interviewer prompted. Marcus and I were in love, Sophia said. Real love, not the cold business arrangement he had with Maya. But she found out and she destroyed him. Destroyed both of us. And why? Because she could. Because she's always been cruel underneath that perfect exterior. Fascinating, the interviewer said. And you've been living in poverty since? Yes. Maya made sure I couldn't work, couldn't get help from anyone. She turned our own mother against me. That must have been terrible, the interviewer sympathized. Tell me, Sophia, in all of this, do you think you bear any responsibility? Sophia's face hardened. No. I was in love. That's not a crime. Even though he was married? To your sister? Love doesn't follow rules, Sophia said. I see. And what about the others? Others? The interviewer's expression changed, warmth draining away. Jennifer Martinez. Rachel Kim. David Wong. Shall I continue? Sophia went white. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't you? The interviewer stood, and the lights came up in the adjacent room. Through the two-way mirror, Sophia could suddenly see all of them, every person she'd destroyed, all watching her with cold eyes. This isn't a documentary, is it? Sophia whispered. No, Maya said, stepping into the room. It's a reckoning. The confrontation. Maya. Sophia stood, backing away. This is crazy. You can't. I can, Maya interrupted. And I did. Sophia, you've spent the last 7 years destroying my life. You spent the decade before that destroying everyone else's. And you've never once faced consequences. They can't prove anything, Sophia said, defiant. Actually, Maya said, pulling out a tablet, we can prove everything. See, while you were busy destroying lives, you got sloppy. You kept trophies. Maya projected images onto the screen. Text messages, emails, journal entries, all recovered from devices Sophia thought she'd wiped clean. You documented everything, Maya continued. Every scheme, every manipulation. You were so proud of yourself, you couldn't help but keep records. You even wrote about it like some twisted memoir. On screen, Sophia's own words appeared, damning and undeniable. Jennifer was so easy to break. One fake text from Jake's phone and she fell apart. Sometimes I think I could destroy anyone if I wanted to. Convinced Daddy's partner to trust me with the files. David Wong will be ruined by Friday. Maya will be so impressed with how I helped Daddy. If only she knew. Rachel actually tried to kill herself. That's hilarious. All because I told people the truth about her, well, my truth anyway. The room fell silent. Even through the mirror, Maya could see the horror on the faces of Sophia's victims as they read the casual cruelty in black and white. You're a monster, Rachel said, her voice shaking. I was 16 and you almost killed me, and you thought it was funny? You were weak, Sophia snapped, her mask finally cracking. All of you were weak. I just exposed it. No, Maya said coldly. You preyed on people who trusted you. There's a difference. The breaking point. Sophia laughed, a high-pitched sound that bordered on hysteria. So what? You brought me here to shame me? To make me apologize? It won't work, Maya. I'm not sorry. I'd do it all again. I know you would, Maya said. That's why this isn't about apologies. She nodded to Derek, who stepped forward with a stack of folders. These are lawsuits, Maya explained. Civil suits from every person in that room. Fraud, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress. We have evidence, witnesses, and very expensive lawyers. You're going to spend the next decade in court. I don't have any money, Sophia sneered. You made sure of that. True, Maya agreed. Which means you'll be assigned a public defender. And every case you lose, and you'll lose them all, will be public record. Your name will be synonymous with betrayal. Every time someone Googles you, they'll find the truth. You can't. But wait, there's more, Maya interrupted. Marcus is cooperating with federal prosecutors. In exchange for a reduced sentence, he's testifying about your role in the embezzlement scheme. Turns out, when you're facing 20 years in prison, loyalty becomes negotiable. He's giving them everything, Sophia. Every crime you convinced him to commit, every fraud you planned together. You're looking at 10 to 15 years. The color drained from Sophia's face. No. No, Marcus wouldn't. He already did, Maya said, showing her the signed cooperation agreement. You're going to prison, Sophia. And unlike Marcus with his white-collar country club facility, you're going to a real prison. With real criminals. How long do you think you'll last? Sophia sank into her chair, the reality crashing over her. Why, she whispered. Why do you hate me so much? I don't hate you, Maya said, and she was surprised to find it was true. I pity you. You had everything, a family who loved you, opportunities, chances. But you were so consumed with jealousy and bitterness that you destroyed it all. And for what? A man who didn't love you? Money you couldn't keep? The satisfaction of hurting people who'd never hurt you? You don't understand, Sophia said, tears streaming down her face. You were always perfect. Dad's perfect daughter, with her perfect life. I was nothing. Invisible. So you decided to make yourself visible by tearing others down? Maya shook her head. That's not strength, Sophia. That's cowardice. The unexpected mercy. Maya walked to the window, looking out at the Berkshire Mountains. Behind her, she heard Sophia crying, broken sobs that might have moved her once. Now, they were just noise. I'm going to give you a choice, Maya said finally, turning back. Option 1, we proceed with everything. The lawsuits, the criminal charges, the public exposure. You spend the next 15 years fighting battles you can't win, and you emerge, if you emerge, with nothing. No future, no hope, nothing. And option 2? Sophia asked, her voice small. Option 2, you disappear. I've arranged for a one-way ticket to a small town in Alaska. There's a job waiting for you at a fish processing plant. It's hard work, minimum wage, and you'll be nobody. No one there knows your name or your history. You can start over, completely clean slate. That's not mercy, Sophia said bitterly. That's exile. Yes, Maya agreed. But it's a life. A chance to become someone better than what you are now. The alternative is prison. Your choice. Sophia looked around the room, at all the faces watching her with varying degrees of anger and disgust. She looked at the evidence on the screens, her own words condemning her. Finally, she looked at Maya, really looked at her, and saw something she'd never noticed before. Her sister had grown stronger than she'd ever imagined possible. Why would you offer me this? Sophia asked. After everything I did? Because, Maya said, someone once told me that the best revenge isn't destruction. It's becoming so successful that your enemies become irrelevant. You tried to destroy me, Sophia. You failed. Now you get to live with that failure while I build the life you always wanted. Sophia's voice broke. I'll take Alaska. Smart choice, Maya said. She nodded to Derek, who handed Sophia an envelope. Your ticket leaves in 4 hours. The job starts Monday. There's enough money in there for first month's rent and groceries. After that, you're on your own. What about Mom? Sophia asked quietly. Mom knows everything, Maya said. She's heartbroken. But I convinced her not to press charges for the money you stole from her retirement fund. She doesn't want to see you, Sophia. Maybe someday that will change, but don't count on it. Sophia stood, clutching the envelope like a lifeline. At the door, she paused. Maya? Yes? I really did hate you, Sophia said. But I think, maybe, I hated myself more. I know, Maya said. Get help, Sophia. Real help. Maybe someday you'll figure out why you are the way you are. Sophia left. Maya watched through the window as a car took her away, toward an airport and a new life that was really just another form of punishment. But at least it was life. The healing begins. In the weeks that followed, Maya threw herself into rebuilding. Chen Enterprises flourished under her leadership, posting record profits within the first quarter. She promoted from within, creating opportunities for people who'd been overlooked under Marcus's regime. She settled the lawsuits with Sophia's other victims, using her own money to compensate them for what they'd lost. It wouldn't erase the pain, but it was something. Rachel Kim came to her office one afternoon with a proposal. I'm starting a nonprofit, Rachel explained. Support for young people dealing with bullying and betrayal. I want to make sure no one else goes through what I did. I'll fund it, Maya said immediately. All of it. I haven't told you how much it will cost. Doesn't matter. If we can save even one kid from what you went through, it's worth it. Rachel left in tears, good tears this time. The man from the past. 6 months after Sophia's exile, Maya was working late when her assistant buzzed. Ms. Chen? There's a man here to see you. He says he's an old friend, but he doesn't have an appointment. His name is Daniel Reeves. Maya's heart stuttered. Daniel Reeves. She hadn't heard that name in 7 years. Send him in, she said. Daniel looked exactly the same and completely different. He'd been her boyfriend before Marcus, the relationship that almost was before she met her future ex-husband. They'd broken up mutually when he got a job in London, both agreeing they were too young for long distance. Maya, he said, and his smile was warm and genuine. You look amazing. What are you doing here? She asked, standing to greet him. I'm back in Boston. I heard about everything. The divorce, the business. I wanted to see if you were okay. I'm more than okay, Maya said. And it was true. She was stronger than she'd ever been. I'm glad, Daniel said. Listen, I know this is probably terrible timing, but I was wondering if maybe we could get coffee sometime? Catch up properly? Maya studied him. He wasn't Marcus with his calculated charm. He wasn't anyone but Daniel, kind, honest Daniel who'd let her go because it was the right thing to do, not because he'd found someone he liked better. I'd like that, Maya said. Marcus's last letter. The letter arrived from the federal prison where Marcus was serving his sentence. Maya almost threw it away unopened, but curiosity won again. Maya. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. But I wanted you to know that everything I did, every lie, every betrayal, it's been eating me alive. Not because I got caught, but because I finally understand what I destroyed. You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and I was too stupid and selfish to see it. Sophia used me, but I let her because I wanted to be used. I wanted an excuse to be the villain. I'm going to be here for 7 more years. I've been taking classes, therapy, trying to become someone who deserves to breathe the same air as decent people. I'll never be that person, but I'm trying. I hope you find happiness, Maya. Real happiness, with someone who sees your worth. You always deserved better than me. Marcus. Maya read the letter twice, then filed it away. Not forgiveness, but closure. Marcus was no longer the villain in her story. He was just a character who'd exited stage left, leaving her to write the rest of the play. The anniversary. 1 year after the video message that had destroyed her world, Maya stood on the balcony of Chin Enterprises, looking out at Boston Harbor. The company was thriving. She'd just closed a deal that would expand into 3 new countries. Her relationship with Daniel was growing into something real and healthy. Her mother had finally started speaking to her again, their relationship healing slowly. Ms. Chen? Her assistant poked her head out. The gala is starting. They're waiting for you. Maya had reinstated her father's annual charity gala, the one Marcus had cancelled to save money he'd wanted to steal. Tonight, they'd raised over $5 million for causes her father had cared about. As she walked into the ballroom, everyone turned to look at her. Not with pity or scandal in their eyes, but with respect. She'd rebuilt not just a company but a reputation. Derek approached with a tablet. You need to see this. It was a news article. Former business executive Sophia Chen found dead in Alaska. Apparent suicide. Maya's hand shook as she read. Sophia had been found in her apartment, empty pill bottles on the nightstand. The note mentioned regret, shame, a life she couldn't escape even when she tried to start over. I'm sorry, Derek said quietly. Maya excused herself, walking to a private room. She sat in the darkness, letting the news sink in. Her sister was dead. The person who'd tormented her, who'd tried to destroy her, who'd been the villain in her story, gone. She waited for satisfaction, for that dark joy of seeing an enemy vanquished. It didn't come. Instead, there was just emptiness and a profound sadness for the waste of it all. Sophia could have been different. Could have been better. But she'd chosen bitterness over growth, revenge over redemption. And now she'd never get another chance. Maya cried then, not for the woman Sophia had been, but for the sister she might have been if she'd made different choices. The final truth. But Sophia's death had one last twist. A package arrived at Maya's office 3 days later, sent by Sophia before her death. Inside was a letter and a USB drive. Maya. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. I couldn't do it anymore, couldn't live with what I'd become. Alaska didn't save me. Nothing could save me because I didn't want to be saved. I'm writing this to tell you the truth, the one truth I never told anyone. I didn't just hate you because Dad loved you more. I hated you because I wanted to be you. Every choice I made was trying to prove I was as good as you, as worthy as you. But I kept failing, and that failure turned into rage. The USB drive has something you need to see. It's from the night of your wedding. I recorded it because I thought I'd use it someday, but I never did. You deserve to know the whole truth. I'm sorry, Maya. For everything. I wish I could have been the sister you deserved. Sophia. With trembling hands, Maya inserted the USB drive. The video showed her wedding reception, filmed from a hidden camera. She watched herself dance with Marcus, radiantly happy, believing in forever. Then the camera panned to a corner of the room where Sophia stood talking to their father. You look upset, sweetheart, their father said. I'm happy for Maya, Dad. Really? But I wish. Sophia's voice cracked. I wish you were as proud of me as you are of her. I work so hard, and it's never enough. Their father's expression softened. Oh, Sophia. I am proud of you. Both my girls make me proud. You gave Chin Enterprises to Maya. You gave her everything. I gave her responsibility, their father corrected. You've always been the free spirit, the creative one. I didn't want to trap you in a boardroom. I wanted you to find your own path. So you didn't give her the company because she's better than me? No, sweetheart. I gave it to her because she asked for it. You never did. You never told me what you wanted. I wanted you to know without me asking, Sophia whispered. The video ended there, but Maya understood. Sophia had misread their father's intentions, let that misunderstanding fester into resentment, and built an entire identity around false grievances. If she'd just talked to him. If she'd just asked. Everything might have been different. 1 year later, the real ending. 2 years after the video message that changed everything, Maya Chin stood in front of a mirror, adjusting her dress. Not emerald green this time, but soft gold that caught the light like sunshine. You ready? Daniel asked, appearing in the doorway of their bedroom, in the home they'd bought together 6 months ago. Almost, Maya said, turning to face him. Daniel Reeves, her second chance at love, her proof that not all men were Marcus. I still can't believe you proposed to me, Daniel teased, pulling her close. You were taking too long, Maya laughed. I've learned not to wait for life to happen to me. They were hosting a small engagement party, just close friends and family. Maya's mother would be there, finally back in her life fully. Aunt Linda, who'd become not just a business partner but a true family member. Rachel Kim and Jennifer Martinez, who'd become unexpected friends. The team at Chin Enterprises who'd helped her rebuild. As guests arrived, filling their home with laughter and warmth, Maya found herself on the balcony, looking at the city lights. Thinking about her? Daniel asked, joining her. Yeah, Maya admitted. Sophia's death still haunted her, probably always would. I keep wondering if I could have done something different. Saved her somehow. You tried, Daniel reminded her. You gave her a chance when you didn't have to. Some people can't be saved, Maya. They have to want it themselves. I know. It's just sad, that's all. We were sisters once. Before everything got twisted. Would you change what happened? Daniel asked. If you could go back, knowing what you know now? Maya considered the question. If she'd never married Marcus, never been betrayed, she wouldn't have become who she was now. She'd still be that softer, more naive version of herself, not bad, but not as strong. No, she said finally. I wouldn't change it. The pain made me real. The betrayal taught me strength. And Sophia. She paused, choosing her words carefully. Sophia taught me that being kind isn't weakness. Being trusting isn't foolish. Those are my choices, not my flaws. That's my girl, Daniel said, kissing her forehead. Inside, someone tapped a glass, calling for a toast. Maya and Daniel went back in hand. Aunt Linda stood in the center of the room, raising her champagne. To Maya Chen, she said, her voice carrying. A woman who was knocked down and got back up stronger. Who was betrayed and chose to build rather than destroy. Who lost a sister but gained a family. To Maya, the room chorused. Maya looked around at these people, her chosen family, her team, her future husband. This was her revenge, she realized. Not the destruction of her enemies, but the construction of a life so full of love and purpose that what they'd done to her became irrelevant. Marcus was in prison, becoming someone different. Maybe he'd succeed, maybe he wouldn't. Either way, he was no longer her problem. Sophia was gone, her demons finally silenced. Maya had made peace with that, had even established a scholarship in her sister's name for young women seeking therapy and mental health treatment. If Sophia's tragedy could help someone else, then perhaps her life hadn't been completely wasted. And Maya? Maya was free. Free of bitterness, free of revenge, free of the past that had tried to define her. Speech, someone called out. Maya laughed, raising her own glass. Okay. I'll keep it short. 2 years ago, I thought my life was over. I thought I'd lost everything that mattered. But I was wrong. I hadn't lost everything, I'd lost the wrong things. She found Daniel's eyes across the room. I lost people who never valued me. And in losing them, I found people who do. I lost a company that was built on lies. And in losing it, I built one founded on truth. I lost a marriage. And in losing it, I found myself. Her voice grew stronger. So here's to losing the wrong things. Here's to falling down and getting back up. Here's to choosing love over hate, building over destroying, and living over merely surviving. Thank you all for being here, for believing in me even when I didn't believe in myself. To living, the room echoed. As the party continued, Maya slipped out to the balcony one more time. She pulled out her phone, opening a draft email she'd written months ago but never sent. Dear Marcus. I read your letter. I believe you're trying to change, and I hope you succeed. Not for me, but for you. Everyone deserves a chance at redemption if they truly want it. I forgive you. Not because you earned it, but because I refuse to carry that weight anymore. You took enough from me. You don't get my peace too. I hope prison makes you better. I hope you come out as someone who adds value to the world instead of subtracting it. But whether you do or don't, I'll be fine. I'm already fine. Take care of yourself, Maya. She pressed send before she could change her mind. Then she deleted his contact information, the last remaining connection to that chapter of her life. Maya? Daniel called from the doorway. Cake's ready. Coming, she said. As she walked back inside to celebrate with people who truly loved her, Maya Chen finally understood what her father had tried to teach her all along. Success isn't about what you accumulate. It's about who you become while you're accumulating it. She'd lost a husband, a sister, and an illusion of a perfect life. In return, she'd gained strength, wisdom, and a family she'd chosen for herself. And that, Maya thought as Daniel's arm wrapped around her waist and her chosen family saying congratulations, was the best revenge of all. The end. Maya's journey from betrayal to triumph shows us that the greatest revenge isn't destroying your enemies, it's building a life so beautiful that their absence becomes a blessing. Sometimes the people who hurt us the most teach us the most valuable lessons, who we are when everything is stripped away, and who we choose to become when we rebuild.